What up, FOC crew? It's your girl, Latoya.
And Chris.
And we're back with another video. If you are new to this channel, make sure you
comment, like, and subscribe.
And make sure you push those push notifications. So if you're not currently subscribed, we want to make sure when you do subscribe, you get all the notifications when we're dropping new content.
And our new videos will be fire.
So I know you're asking yourself, why are we even having this conversation? Why are we even having this conversation?
As you know, there's a lot going on in the world today, but the main reason we're making this video today is this lady named Jada Pinkett Smith and her husband, supposed husband, who knows, Will Smith.
Supposed husband? I think it's very evident that they're married. Now, are they married?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like married, or just like married for convenience?
Look, that ain't none of my business, but hey, this is going to be our business today because I was sipping all that tea. So for me, we watched the whole, like, if you don't know, you guys need to go watch the Table Talk conversation because it was juicy, but it wasn't juicy because it was like we was talking around in circles, and we're gonna lay out what we think about that. But a little backstory, if you don't know what's going on, which you should know what's going on because it's everywhere, is basically, for starters, August Alsina dropped a song about Jada Pinkett
called Nunya, which was like came out last year?
Yeah, 2019, and
right.
Then it was like
and
there was speculation that he was talking about their relationship, and everybody was like, relationship, boo-boo face.
And then apparently he went on this show with Angela Yee, and she asked him about it, and this is when he spilled all the tea about what happened between him and Jada.
And then basically, because me and him had this conversation, like, do we really believe, like, he's telling the truth? I believe he's telling his truth. I mean, I guess there's always, in this situation, four sides to the story. His story, her story, Will's story, and somewhere in between all that.
But when I first heard about the story, I could have sworn, I don't know, when they were first married, that they were like, oh, we have an open marriage. If they want to go out, if he wants to go out, then it's cool. And now all of a sudden, that may not have been the case. I may have just made that up, but I'm pretty sure I heard that back in the day.
I mean, I heard back in the day they had an open marriage, but my thing is just like, if that's what you do, then do what you do. You don't need to explain yourself to the world. I mean, I feel like it was like it's none of your business, and we're gonna address it, but it's really none of your business, but we're gonna address it. So I was like, I don't know. Y'all got me confused.
And considering your normal table talks are like 40-ish minutes, this one was less than 15 minutes. Did it really answer any questions, or did it leave more questions than answers? Watch this video and we'll let you know what we think.
Okay, so basically the whole start of the conversation was kind of like Will trying to like get into Jada to find out what exactly happened. Well, it's not like he didn't know. Like, so I don't know.
You really think he knew though?
I think they say they have no secrets, so I would be.
But do you think he really knew? I mean, he knew that her and August were together, but you think he really knew?
Yes, because I would feel like if you're calling him by his nickname, Og, it's not even like we're calling him by his real name. We're calling Og was at the house, and
yeah, but they were
on vacation with us.
But him and Jada were friends for like 4 years.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know.
I just don't know how many men are gonna let another man, sick or not, just be all up in their house, traveling, we going on trips and stuff.
That comes down to like trust. Like if you had a male friend and hey, and y'all hanging out all the time, I trust you. Why would I be worried?
Perception is everything.
Yeah, but
me and him have this conversation all the time. Perception is everything. Even though it may look innocent, what does it look like from the outside looking in?
But why should somebody, them, care what everybody else thinks? If they know what happened, cool. Why should they care what everybody else thinks?
But actually, in this circumstance, it did actually play out that there was something going on.
Well, yeah.
But anyways, back to the table talk conversation. So basically, they did their little tiptoeing around the conversation. I feel like Ganny should have been involved in the conversation because I feel like Jada's mom. Because I feel like she would have pulled something out. She would have pulled the truth out of Jada. I feel like when I'm having a conversation, I mean, they say that they're honest, but I don't feel like she was fully honest. Maybe to spare his feelings, maybe to kind of trot around what was really going on. But I feel like she wasn't completely transparent, so I don't even know what was the point of bringing her to the table.
And like Will's like one of the questions, like, what happened, Jada? She's like, well, we had a, what's he call it? Transgression?
And no, an entanglement.
He
called it a transgression.
She's like an entanglement. He's like, what's an entanglement? She's like, a relationship. He's like, oh.
No,
What?
he said a relationship.
Oh, yeah, he did, yeah.
So basically, like, I don't even know. It's just like, I feel like they maybe have been in a bad space. He mentioned that they were separated and he was basically done with her and they weren't getting back together.
But apparently when this happened, I don't know, we'll say, we didn't give an exact time frame, we'll say a year ago. They were, according to Will, they were separated. Now, how true that is, I don't know. Maybe just do that for optics to make it look better. But were they really separated? I believe they were. So if that's the case, is it really as bad as it looks?
I mean, if they're separated, why do we even need to have a conversation? They should just come out and say, hey, we were separated. It is what it is. Y'all need to mind y'all business. Do what y'all do.
Yeah, but I mean, but at the same time, Jada wasn't trying to make herself look bad, but she wasn't trying to make August look bad, and Will's just kind of sitting here in the middle like, who's more honest here, August or my wife?
I think he's always going to ride for his wife. Clearly, they said ride together, die together.
Bad marriage for life. But I'm like, that's kind of weird. But
I'm like, if you know that you have a bad marriage, that's a little weary. I don't know. So for me, it was just like, I don't know. We still didn't get any answers. I feel like they tiptoed around the whole conversation. She needed healing and she seeked out August Alsina. I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just like you're like kind of like, she said she had like a codependency. Maybe they both had some type of codependency, but I feel like she sucked the life out of August Alsina and she gained life and she found out who she was through the situation, and then he kind of was left on the side like, okay,
and then she stated she realized she can't find happiness outside of herself. Like, she can't go seek other people for happiness. And then she also said that August cut off communication with her and they haven't talked in some time. She's like, well, I understand. I mean, she didn't say she was hurt, but you could probably tell she was a little hurt because she helped this man through whatever struggles that he was having for 4 years.
I mean, at the end of the day, he has to do what he has to do because clearly she's going to continue to be in the marriage. And if there is no future, because he admitted like she's never been in love with anybody like he's been in love with her. If there's no future, why am I going to continue to pursue this route? Because in the end, I'm the one that's going to end up being single. And even though, you might be getting a little stuff on the side, like, it's just like, it's not the same as having somebody to come home to every night to, cuddle up with if that's what you do. I ain't one people.
But, I mean, you can tell deep down they really love each other. I mean, why else would they stay together through all this? Like, through all the... They've been together 25 years. I mean, what's the point of breaking up at this point? They're both in their 50s. I mean, they're probably just staying together for convenience is what I think.
I don't know, just me, I don't know. I mean, you can't really say what you do until you're in the situation. This is coming, we are married, so we're not just talking out of our ass, but we haven't been married for 25 years, so we don't know all the ins and outs. I just know that we've been together for 8 years, married for 6, and we've never had, knock on wood, we haven't had many of the things that most people have in their relationships. We don't have blowout, dropout arguments. We don't really argue. We don't fight about stuff. It's just like, this is my best friend. We're joined at the hip. We're always together. And that's...
I mean, that's true. Yeah, I mean, that's very true.
So I'm like, well, I'm glad that they have that relationship where they're talking about this. But I also feel like if you're going to come to the table and you're going to say you're being transparent, you guys just need to be honest about everything. If y'all have an open marriage, y'all have an open marriage. I'm just like, I know people who are polygamous that are, they
open about it.
Open about it. They live, they live in a house together. Everybody, they may have their disputes, but for the most part, everybody gets along. They know what it is. So if you know your role, and that was the other thing, like I know Bill Bellamy was like, how do you not play your role? You were given a role, and August Alsina stepped out of line, and blah, blah. At the end of the day, I understand. Side chick.
I mean, I can see both sides. Like, if Angela, he could have said no comment or like next question. He didn't have to answer the question. That was on him.
Okay, but why can't he answer the question to his truth? If they had a relationship, they have a relationship. There's nothing. Why does he need to protect her? Because clearly in all this, he's trying to find healing for himself. And maybe this is a therapeutic conversation.
I mean, this is true, but like maybe she wasn't ready to have that conversation. And so it's kind of like, well, I don't know, but it could have been, he put her in a bad spot and she's like, well, crap, I got to talk about it now.
Well, I mean, she didn't really talk about it.
I mean, I know, but
we said we were separated. She was going through a hard time. He helped her heal. She's a brand new person. She found herself. She's living her best life, and that's that. But at the end of the day, it's just like when you start intermingling and entertaining other people's feelings, that's where I have the issue with. And the other thing too is just like they seemed like they were okay with it, but to me, they both seem like very broken people in a marriage, and it's like, I'm not trying to say that they're not happy and they don't have happy moments, but you can genuinely see that Will was sad about this conversation. I just felt like it was a front.
Well, she seemed kind of sad too, though.
She should be sad. If you sit over here having this conversation with this person that you say that you want to spend the rest of your life with.
I don't know if sad is the right word. Like, she looks sad, but in honesty, she should be like, well, this dude is still with me after 25 years, after all this stuff I did on the side. So, in honesty, she should be more relieved than sad that, hey, he still got my side. He's still my rock.
I mean, maybe there was a little bit of that, but I don't know.
And then it's like another thing, like we and her were talking about, is like, you see celebrity relationships, and you're like, oh, I want to be like them. You can't look up to, like, celebrity relationships, because you don't know all the stuff they go through, traveling, and I mean, it's just kind of hard to look up to other people's relationships. You don't know all the ins and outs of the stuff they deal with.
Well, if you want to look up to this relationship, you know the keys. Have an open marriage. No, just kidding.
I mean, but like,
maybe you need to get you that.
We're not saying there's nothing easy wrong with open marriage. You just got to set those boundaries beforehand. You can't have one person want one thing and one person want the other. It's all about communication. So it's like, if you want an open marriage, if you want an open marriage, talk to somebody who's willing to do that. If they're not, then you need to change your ways or find somebody that's more willing to be in an open marriage.
But I feel like there may be some past things that Will did to Jada. I'm not trying to say that she's guilty. She's the only guilty party. There's probably a backstory for Will, because they've had conversations on the tabletop too. But I feel like at the end of the day, like, yeah, y'all gonna be together. So what was the point of this? That's just me.
I mean, yeah, I was just kind of like watching, and I kind of watched it. I was like disappointed. I was like, we didn't really get any information we didn't already know. We knew they had a relationship. We knew Will knew about it, but what else did we really find out?
Me, nothing. I want to know, because the kids is grown as hell, so I want to know, like, what are your kids?
You think the kids knew?
How could the kids not know? This fool is traveling with you. I'm like...
Yeah, but they were friends for 4 years. It's not like...
Nah, bruh.
I mean, come on.
No. So I'm like, if he's traveling, I know he ain't like another brother, so I'm like... Clearly, they now have an opinion about it. I'm sure they've had a conversation with their parents. I'm sure their parents didn't just go on a table talk, have a conversation about an affair.
But I think, didn't he say, like, August say he was, like, in love with Jada?
Yeah.
So, like, I think he's more hurt about the whole situation than she is. She's just kind of like, whatever.
And that's why I said he was the one that ended up being hurt throughout the whole situation, because she healed from whatever sexual healing, because I feel like that's probably what he gave her.
We don't know that. She didn't say that.
You don't need to see. You see how she was glowing? She was like, oh, yeah. And her husband was sitting across the table looking broken, like, I know she didn't come in here and get dick down talking about, oh, we riding together, we dying together, and all this other stuff. But yeah, you can see the male ego was broken. And I don't even know.
He's a better man than me.
You would still be with me if I was over here with side piece.
No.
Yes.
If they painted all our bills, that's one thing. Then that might be a conversation we can have.
Look. Anyways. So, y'all need to go tune into the video. One thing that we will say to just dabble into, like I said, we cannot continue to put celebrities on a pedestal. They're everyday people. They go through struggles like everybody else. Their lives are not perfect. If you want to do anything, you can use it as an example as to what not to do. Or if you like how they conduct their relationship, you may say, hey, I mean,
what you see in person in interviews is probably only the surface of what actually goes on. Like,
yeah, I mean, they only let you see what they want you to see. Clearly, that's why we're here now.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, we will continue to probably pop up on this channel with these videos. We will have a video coming for you explaining where we've been, because we've been gone for a minute. Now we back with the jump ball. Goons in the club.
And I feel like our videos will be a lot better this time. So.
Yes, they will be better. Y'all will like them, and you will subscribe. But anyways, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Comment below, because we want to know what you think. We will be in the comment section, and we out.
Later.